How come schools don't prescribe Native Americans any agency over what happened to them? That when the Pilgrims arrived in the New World, a snakeskin filled with arrows was left on their ship. Their supplies were stolen and they were attacked without provocation. And the only reason the Pilgrims were able to survive is they had cannons and muskets on their ship. But luckily for the Pilgrims, the Wampanoag Indians were at war with the Narragansett. And when the Wampanoag saw how effective the Pilgrim weaponry was, they reached out to form a military alliance. And that's how Squanto got involved. The Wampanoag were seeking military help from the Pilgrims. And it worked out for the Pilgrims because they needed help securing food in what was a very harsh climate. Now, there would be tension, and 5 decades later, King Philip of the Wampanoag would break a treaty with the Pilgrims. Maybe he was right to do so, maybe he wasn't, but the result was war. And the Wampanoag sought out help from the Mohawk. But instead, the Mohawk massacred them. And that's the true story of what happened to the Thanksgiving Indians. But the public school system has been conquered by Marxists who teach history through the lens of victims versus oppressors. And we know who the oppressors have to be. So they prescribe no agency to the Native Americans. And if that's how you study history, your kids aren't learning anything. It's why I write books on how information is controlled, the history of fake news, rights fundamental to being an American, real history, and so much more. EscaLearner.com